What's good, you guys? It's your boy SJK Dot, the first black Super Saiyan to ever arrive on this planet. I got some news today. Bruh, saw some stuff on Twitter. This got me because I'm like, what the frick is going on? Look, just because a director gives an explanation of something doesn't mean you gotta agree with it. Like, if you didn't understand it in a movie and they give you an explanation to back it up and you still don't like the decision they went with, you can disagree with it. People think, oh, they explained it, you have to accept it. Nah. We're going to get into this article, bro, because I just want to say some things about this. This is that garbage doo-doo writing that was riddled in Endgame, where in Endgame was the Endgame. You saw Cap at his peak. You saw Iron Man at his peak with his intelligence and power set. And then they shit on the characters further. You don't see Hulk and Thor at their peak. I don't get what's wrong with MCU. I don't know what's MCU fans' fixation on breaking down Thor, making a godly being more human than he is a god. That is so weird. There's no point in you referring to him as a god of anything if he ain't finna be on godly status, cause he ain't. They keep on breaking him down like a human, giving him depression, all this whack stuff that humans go through. I'm like, what the freak is this, bruh? Get out of here with that. You either make him a 100 G god. He talks like a god. He doesn't. He talks like a regular clown of a human, bruh. Thor is supposed to be a godly being. I don't like how they write Thor like that. They make him a clown. He cracks jokes. He talks not as weird, bruh. That is trash. It's like Beerus and Dragon Ball Super. At least Beerus and Dragon Ball Super keeps up the god sort of mentality. You know, he got the ego. He got it. Godly. Sure, he will, there's this thing about Beerus from Dragon Ball Super. He will do what he wants. And he also got the power to back up. He also got the power to back it up. Thor, he can't do that, bruh. He ain't do that. In the MCU, nah. He got washed by Hela. He got washed by Thanos. He got waxed by Thanos, bruh. In Endgame, he got waxed. So anybody come here telling me, but he chopped off Thanos, bruh, he is trash. Thor got waxed by Thanos, bruh, and Thor had 2 hammers. Garbage. Thanos a G, Thor's garbage. That's just how it is. Thanos didn't even have Infinity Stones. He just had a sword in his hands, and he was knocking them out. Pop, pop, pop. But we got this article. Let's get into it. Some bullshit. Let's see what other stuff the Russo brothers is making up. Just to fill in things. Avengers Endgame director reveals Hulk's injury is permanent by Jamie Levette, May 7, 2019. Let me give y'all a little fact checks. In the MCU, Hulk has a healing factor, if y'all don't remember. And in the Incredible Hulk movie, which is part of the MCU, Abomination took his elbow. He had a giant piece of sharp bone sticking out. He impaled it into Hulk's chest, put a big wound in his chest, almost stabbing Hulk's heart, and Hulk's chest healed up. So you're telling me his healing factor is just gone? His healing factor is gone now? That's inconsistent within the MCU. Hulk takes damage and he heals. What the freak? What is this? Thanos broke Hulk's nose in Infinity War when he bust him up, and then when he went back to Bruce Banner, all the wounds healed up, and then when Bruce Banner became Professor Hulk, he had no broken nose and nothing. I'm like, what the freak is this, bro? He has a healing factor. How do you think Bruce Banner kept himself from dying? Remember, Bruce Banner shot himself in the mouth in Avengers. He said he tried suicide, and the Hulk came out to keep him from dying. In a way, a big portion of a healing factor. And the Hulk keeps Bruce from dying. They got a healing factor. The freak, bruh. In Avengers Endgame, the Avengers fought back against the world that Thanos created in Avengers Infinity War. Together, they traveled through time to collect the Infinity Stones, but only one hero could wield the combined power with Iron Man's gauntlet. The Hulk stepped up and succeeded in reversing the effects of the snap, but that powerful action left scars. Like with Thanos, the power of the Infinity Stones proved too much for any single being, even the Hulk, to handle. The active wielding stones burned and damaged Hulk's arm. Co-director Joe Russo sat for a conversation with comicbooks.com Brandon Davis, during which he confirmed that the damage inflicted by the stones is permanent. Hulk has a healing factor though. Based off the MCU, Thanos does not have a healing factor. The only way we would have known for Thanos to heal that big wound in his chest was if he used the Infinity Stones. That's the most logical explanation. Use the Infinity Stones to heal that wound. We have no Thanos has durable skin, but as far as healing factor goes, in the MCU, Thanos don't got no healing factor. From what I seen, he got shot when Iron Man cut him. When he got shot by those lasers, he got shot by those Star Lord's lasers, and they just hit his body, and they just literally the lasers hit his chest, and they went, psh, psh, and Thanos didn't even feel it. That's when he went through the portal after he got the Time Stone. Now Stormbreaker, that's a different story, and Thanos used the stones to heal that wound. We saw that in Endgame. That wound was there. That wound was gone, and his shirt was completely fixed and everything. So I'm over here like, Hulk has a healing factor though. He has a healing factor. He should be able to heal. Healing factor. Your body part gets damaged, you heal. That's what. All right. I guess the healing factor with the freak. He's lost an arm. Russo says he lost Natasha. That's not. He lost Natasha. They wasn't even doing nothing together up in Infinity War and Endgame, bro. What you mean? He lost Natasha. He wasn't even smashing. Oh my! He wasn't smashing her cheeks in, bro. They done with that. They didn't even. They hinted at it, but they didn't even. Bro, they didn't have no moment in Infinity War and Endgame where they got together and said something loving to each other, made out. They're not dating. He lost Natasha. Bro, what the freak? Get out of here with that. He lost Natasha. He looks at her as a friend now, bro. That's not coming back. He's damaged himself. I don't know if it's interesting as permanent damage. The same way that it was permanent damage with Thanos is irreversible damage his arm. If you notice, it's a lot skinnier. It's blackened, so he loses a lot of strength hit there. Russo's does acknowledge that permanent means something different, a world of magic and super science. But that's not his concern any longer. But who knows? There's a lot of smart people left, he said. Maybe someone helps him repair that. Maybe someone gives him a new arm. I have no idea where that character goes from here. The nice thing is we didn't have to pay attention to where it goes after this. We just tried to tell a satisfying ending. Fans speculate about the Phase 4 Marvel Cinematic Universe may wonder if one of those smart people could be Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four. While the Fantastic Four role in Marvel Cinematic Universe remains a mystery, the writers of Avengers Endgame have alluded to Marvel Cinematic Universe becoming a very different place once they and X-Men arrive. Okay, let me say something. Hulk, in the MCU, has a healing factor. Did they forget this? He has a healing factor. He has a healing factor. At the end of the day, he has a healing factor. He has one. So, does it not count anymore? I guess it's gone. Healing factor is missing. Hey, I bet if Wolverine put on this gauntlet, his body would just melt and he would just die. Hey, I bet if Deadpool put on this gauntlet, bruh, this MCU gauntlet, he would die. He would just die. I mean, healing factors don't count for nothing anymore. Hey. But at the end of the day, from what I've seen in the MCU, Thanos has no healing factor. From what I've seen. When Thanos took damage, he took damage. Nothing healed up. He had them, like in Endgame, bro, when he was getting beat up by Scarlet Witch, and so she was ripping off his suit. That shit was tight. He was getting damaged. He wasn't healing from none of that. He don't got no healing factor from what I seen. He got durable skin, but healing factor, no. But and even if that's the case, if you got a healing factor, you're gonna heal. Like there's a reason healing factors are a thing in comics, in movies. You got a healing factor. Unless someone takes that healing factor away, you're not gonna heal. I mean, how you gonna give a character a healing factor and you're just gonna do something to where the character has a healing factor, but you take away their ability to heal, even though nothing took away their ability to heal. But it's whatever though. And like this, the Russo brothers said this is permanent. Moving forward, nobody should be giving him a new arm or nothing. This is permanent damage. This means, they said permanent, meaning it's permanent. Hulk, he's done, bruh. He's done. He's done. And you know what? I get fans still have hope and optimism that Hulk is gonna be tight. He's done, you guys. Y'all waited a whole phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 for your World War Hulk, and you didn't even get that in Endgame. And this is the problem with Endgame, bro. Even Infinity War 2. When you, I get people will say Hulk is a character. I was talking to this dude the other day, right? You know, he was over telling me Hulk isn't just a guy who fights. He's more than that. You gotta freaking put respect on Hulk's name, dude. He's not just a freaking brute. Yes, he is. When the Hulk turns into Hulk, and I don't see the Hulk smash, your character is irrelevant and trash to me, bro. That is the Hulk's purpose. He is a brute. He's the muscle. Make him the muscle. Have him do muscle man type of stuff. And if he's not, you're irrelevant and you are trash. Get up out of here, bro. The Hulk digressed because this makes no sense within the MCU. In Incredible Hulk, that Hulk seemed more of like a Planet Hulk. He can probably somewhat talk, but he's tall. He stands up like a stature of a man, and he just stands tall. He stands tall like the Edward Norton Hulk. And this is where it doesn't make sense. So you go from a somewhat competent Hulk, not too much of a talker, but somewhat competent and really he can think. And then in Avengers 1, he goes back into Savage Hulk mode, brute mode for Avengers 1, Avengers 2. And then they get into Thor Ragnarok where he can somewhat talk again. He walks like a man. He's not bending over and walking like a gorilla. And I'm like, what is this? What is this development? It is so weird. Incredible Hulk, Edward Norton Hulk was, you know, he was walking straight like a human and stuff, running like a human. He was pretty competent. The way Hulk was fighting in Incredible Hulk and the way he was interacting with people, it's like he didn't really understand you, but he can like when Emil Blonsky pulled up on him and Hulk kicked him, cause he knew, hey man, this dude talking smack to me. Kick that dude, bro. Hit that tree. That was tight. But you go from Avengers 1 back to Savage Hulk. You do that from Avengers 1 to Avengers 2. And then Thor Ragnarok, he digressed into a man baby Hulk. And I'm like, wait a minute, this development makes no sense. And then after man baby Hulk, you get into Professor Hulk. That's kind of backwards. Shouldn't have, after Incredible Hulk, he should have immediately went into Professor Hulk or something. After, in Avengers 1, you go from a somewhat competent Hulk back to a Savage Hulk. Then you go from Savage to a somewhat almost competent, but you're back to a 3-year-old baby Hulk in Thor Ragnarok. Then you go to Professor Hulk. So you're somewhat competent. You go Savage. Then you are a man baby. This development of his character is trash. Are you going to make Hulk tight? No, he wasn't in Endgame, bro. It's too late. It's done. Hulk is done, bro. He's done. There ain't no more hope for this character. This character is basically Disney Star Wars. It's like no more hope for you. You're trash. You missed your shot. Endgame was his shot, and he didn't get it. He didn't do nothing tight in Endgame. All he did was put on the glove, screaming agony, sweating with the gauntlet. Yeah. And then he passed out. Trash. Freak out of here, Hulk. Tony Stark, bro, this is the funniest thing about it. Tony Stark had a better time holding the gauntlet than Hulk. This is Hulk holding with the gauntlet on. Oh my god, it hurt. This is Iron Man. Iron Man died, but bro, this is where it gets stupid. Iron Man, a human man with no healing factor, no nothing, no gamma radiation, no nothing. He can do this. I am Iron Man. Yeah. He can talk clearly. I'm like, what the freak, bro? Are you gonna sit here and tell me this stuff? I get Tony Stark is smart, but is this dude Batman now? Oh, with prep time, Tony Stark can do this and do that. But he's human, bruh. They make Tony Stark seem stronger than the Hulk. Bruh, the Hulk is trash in the MCU, bro. This is a problem with the MCU. They don't know how to make OP characters tight, bruh. They can take base level characters and make them tight, but they make the wrong characters too OP. For example, Iron Man. Iron Man in the MCU with his nanotech suit and all the gadgets he got could probably body the Hulk. He can. I mean, nanotech suit is an upgrade from what's that suit? Hulkbuster armor, and he even knocked out Hulk with the Hulkbuster armor. When that shouldn't have happened, Hulk should have won that fight, but it's whatever. Iron Man should have been the one who got knocked out and running, but he didn't, because Robert Downey Jr. he's dead now, but whatever. Let's continue, man. Russo's also went into how Bruce Banner and the Hulk transformed from two separate beings arguing over their shared body to more harmonious Hulk of Endgame. The writers say they wrote a scene showing Hulk acting as a solo superhero during Endgame 5-year gap, but it was cut from the film. What do you think of Hulk's story in Avengers Endgame? Let us know in comments. Avengers Endgame is now playing in theaters. Look, this is my issue with the Russos. They're one-word explanations. With the snap, the damage is permanent. So healing factors don't matter anymore? Okay. Well, going off what the Russo said, that's garbage to me. If you got a healing factor, you got a healing factor. You should be able to heal. Unless someone takes away that healing factor or somehow slows it down, it's nothing. For the best example is Logan. In Logan, Wolverine could heal, but he was healing at a slower rate due to the consumption of the food over the years that was negating the mutant gene from their body and kind of diluting it to, give the genes that humans are supposed to have. And it was putting stuff in the food, so when Wolverine was eating that, the McDonald's and stuff, that was holding back his healing factor. And he was also getting up in age. And that adamantium was also poisoning his body. So, and his healing factor had to work extra harder than usual, but his healing factor was not catching up. So, that's an example of your healing factor being tarnished and you could potentially die. That's a good example because he did die. His healing factor was not keeping up. It couldn't. But, in these movies, it was never established in not one movie that Hulk's healing factor got slower or negated or is gone. And now his healing factor is gone? What the freak, bro? Healing factors do not matter in this version of the MCU. The guys is not Earth 616. Isn't the comics. This isn't that. But at the end of the day, that is trash. That's whack, bro. And I don't want to... Hulk is done, bro. Hulk is done, bro. He ain't... It's too late to do some World War Hulk, do some Planet Hulk. It's too late now. You already did Planet Hulk in Thor Ragnarok. It is too late. The Planet of Sakaar in Thor Ragnarok was not Planet of Sakaar like it is in the comic. It's done, bro. It is done. Hulk is trash. He is done. He is done. There was no Red King. He is done. Thor is done too. You don't ever make no superhero fat, bro. That's not even tight. A fat superhero. No one want to see no obese superhero, bro. Come on, man. What the freak, bro? What is this? Fat superheroes. Alright then. I guess a fat Superman's tight. Nah. He better have a body stacked like a muscle man, bro. He better be yoked. He better have a six-pack. He better be on point. I don't want to see no ugly superhero. I don't want to see no obese superhero walking around in tights with like them freaking 10 folds of fat hanging out of your tights. Trash, bro. Russo brothers, y'all some y'all something, bro. The Russo brothers are something, yo. If the Russo brothers, they're something. They are something, bro. They are something. The Russo brothers are something. But hey, that's your guys' character. This is the MCU everyone loves. This is the MCU people love. So like at the end of the day, accept it for what it is. Hulk is trash. Thor is trash. Oh, if you wanna come me trying to defend Thor, let me give you a little quick rundown of what Thor is in the MCU. This is how trash his development is. Thor in Thor 1, there's a reason Thor in Thor 1, I love that Thor. There's a reason. Now, you can say the downside of the movie is that they was on Earth too much, and that's where the movie got stale. But overall, that was a better Thor in my opinion. They actually treated him godlike. And then when he got, because this is how you look at it like this. Thor in Thor 1, he had the god mentality. And now, yes, he did have to humble himself a bit. He had to humble himself, which was the biggest portion to why he got his hammer back. He had to humble himself. Stop favoring battle. Stop rushing headfirst into battle. Learn to cherish the people around you. Learn to care about the lives around you. Because when he went to the Frost Giants, he endangered his friends. He almost brought about a war. Revived a war. And I'm over like, he got to humble himself. And he did. But still, at the end of the day, he was still a godly being in that movie. Thor spending so much time with the Avengers made him so whack that he's too human now. They make him so human-like. And I don't like that. If you want to give me a godly character, make that character a godly character. You can't, that's like you taking Zeus, the god of thunder. You put Zeus, the god of thunder, in a setting with humans, and he starts to become more human, then he steers away from being steers away from his god role. That character's a godly being. That character's godly being. Treat him as so. Give them that respect they deserve. Because what we saw in Endgame, and this is why Endgame it's a dope film for the visuals and the emotion, but that's it. But when it comes down to the action, bruh, the Russo brothers, if y'all was gonna go all out and do dumb stuff, you might as well go full retard with stuff. So you're telling me Thor summoned thunder. He hit his hair and it tied up his beard. But you can't use that thunder to shrink down some of that fat. He can call down thunder to tie up his beard and part his hair. But you're telling me you're not going to go the extra mile and just shrink some of that fat. I got to watch Fat Thor go head up with Thanos and get bodied again with 2 hammers. This is the problem. You shit on characters this movie, Russo brothers. You did. Black Widow by not giving her a funeral. What kind of disrespect is that? She's part of the team too. I thought this film was supposed to be dedicated to the 6 Avengers. And it wasn't. That was a lie, bruh. Because look at what they did to Hulk. And look what they did to Thor. And you're going to sit here and tell me this was a film for the 6 Avengers. We're all going to sit here and believe this was the main 6 Avengers film. Hawkeye, Captain America, and Iron Man got more love in this film than anybody else. Out of the 6 Avengers, Natasha got disrespected by them not even memorializing her or giving her a funeral on screen, but they give Iron Man one because he started it. Natasha's part of the team too. Then you get Thor. They break him down to where he's all depressed. They're making fun of his depression, that is fake depression that he has. They make him fat. Everybody's clowning him, slapping him in the face, calling him Thor Lebowski. And they're making fun of his depression he got. Where was the seriousness in this movie, bruh? It disappeared. Cause if y'all gonna start off serious and run with something, but then you take something as serious as depression and turn it into a joke, not gonna take you somewhat any more serious. It's a comedy movie at this point. So I tell you, Thor, bro, trash development. And people hype up Ragnarok so much. I'm gonna tell you something about Ragnarok, bro. Y'all hyping that movie up too much. This is the biggest problem with Ragnarok. You're telling me Hela can break Thor's hammer, while Thor is on Earth when she was supposed to be weak on Earth, but she broke his hammer. Makes sense. Hela, who's supposed to be the goddess of death, who's throwing swords around the majority of the movie, she's the goddess of swords. Goddess of death, my ass. She's the goddess of swords. Oh, I got a sword. Oh, ha. I thought you'd walk up to people and touch them in it. Oh. She went through that whole army throwing swords. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Yeah, it looked tight, but she like the goddess of swords right here. And then Thor loses to his sister. He doesn't even win. The only thing he wins in is saving his people. Hell, you could have made Thor even more epic. You could have made Thor even more epic to where he defeats Hela. He somewhat saves Asgard. And Thanos pulls up to Asgard with his army. Combing through that thing. Because Thanos pulls up. Oh, Odin's gone. The gods are gone. I am here. You know, just like something like that. He pulls up the earth, starts wrecking everybody. Thor don't got a hammer. Thanos goes up in there wrecking them. You know, if the Infinity War played out like this. But they did. Thor wasn't epic in Ragnarok, bro. He was getting they was hitting him with that little that taser thingy. They was just tasing him the whole movie. He was just comedic relief. Him and Hulk was having fights like children. I'm like, what is this garbage, bro? This looks like this is not. I'm not watching a godly being. I'm watching Thor. A false god who's more human than a god. If you're gonna make him a godly being, give him that respect. Not a problem with the MCU. You get they got some strong characters, and then they take these characters, they weaken them, emasculate them, make especially the male characters like to make them gag relief. Guys, Hulk is trash. Hulk is garbage. Russo brothers, I'm disappointed, bro. But hey, that goes back to the whack writing that was in Endgame. Trash writing in there. So at the end of the day, y'all enjoy. Have a very good day. Go search that peace, love, positivity all the time. Don't do drugs. Please don't do drugs. Healing factors don't mean shit no more in the MCU. But hey, go have a very good day. Peace, love, positivity all the time. Doses. And don't do drugs. Stay safe. Please don't do drugs. Doses.